It looks a little bit slower, looks a little bit choppier, and now he's being forced to settle for that jumper a little bit more, and that's just not what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing Russ play with reckless abandon, play 1,000 miles per hour, and play just like this, and we don't get that on a nightly basis right now. I'm thinking it's due to the injury.
Yeah, I hope.
Weston, one thing, too, besides the injury is the fact that he's not playing on the second night of a back-to-back, so we don't expect him tomorrow. How does he find his rhythm? The games are now starting to pick up again. They play again on Friday after they play the Pelicans tomorrow. Then they play Sunday at home against the Nets, and then the next week they go to Miami for 2 and 3 nights. So you're kind of wondering, where can he find his rhythm where he can kind of find his way into the game? Brendan said it best. When Russell Westbrook was Russ, he would literally pick a spot on the floor and say, I don't care if there's 2, 3, 4 people or a wall you're putting in front of me, I can get to that spot. And right now he's struggling to get to those spots on the floor.
Well, guys, I know we're asking the questions, but there's only one man who can give us the actual answers to all of the things that we have queried, and that would be head coach Scott Brooks. Here he is at his post-game press conference.
Hey, Scott, just what did you make of John's performance? Yeah,
he played well. He played well. Didn't shoot the ball good, but he played well. It was a good floor game. He's a good player. I'm happy for him. I'm not happy that he won tonight, but I'm happy that he's back. Fought hard for 3 years to come back. Hope that he has a healthy year and finish up his career healthy. He's earned that. He worked hard to be in this position. Like I said, I coached him basically only for the first year I was here, and so I saw him, and that to me that was impressive, seeing him compete in his rehab.
Ava?
Scott, you talked about guys still learning how to close games. Just what happened in the fourth there after the challenge that was overturned, and it felt like the Rockets kind of went on a little run after that? Was that just a little bit of panic from your? What did you see?
Yeah, I thought that was a charge, but they said that he was moving. I don't know. I trust them. They had James and Michael and Robertson knew, but those two guys are the best in the business, and they saw it. They got a chance to look at it closely. I looked at it closely. It was one of those 51, 49, we needed a 50-50 and Kamala to decide on our favor.
Ryan?
Coach, what did you make of Russell's performance today? Obviously, his first game back in Houston since the trade, but what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I liked he took another step into getting his game right. Like I said, he's been out for a while. He's been banged up for all season, but I think tonight was a step in the right direction, getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. He's a rebounder, he's a passer, he's a good player. He's a great player. And he's going to get better. It's going to get better each game out. His body's going to get into NBA shape. It's tough. It's definitely tough. But he fights and he doesn't make any excuses. I've been around him for a long time, and he's not an excuse maker. He's going to compete, and he has a lot of pride in his game, and he's going to keep working. And we're going to win some games. Like I said, a lot of guys played and getting great experience, and we made some critical mistakes and didn't make some shots closing out the game, made some turnovers. But those are things that we are correctable, and those are things that we're going to get guys coming back at the end of the week, hopefully, and we can, we got one more game on this trip, and we can, it's going to be a tough one tomorrow night, but we still have to go out there and compete and give ourselves a chance to win, make some shots, and keep care of the ball.
Last question from Anthony.
Hey, Coach. I saw in the fourth quarter, Russell and John were getting a little.
Pro Extra is the Home Depot's loyalty program built just for pros. Members earn rewards like Tool Rental Center.
Sorry about that. And I just wanted to take on that.
The key to this game was defense. Rockets held the
Washington Wizards to 36 second-half points, but that was 2 sub-20-point quarters, 18 and 18 in the second half. That's a strong defensive effort in the second half.
Yeah, well, you know, when they go to the film and watch what they did well, they're going to be pleased with that. Now, Washington didn't shoot well. Well, a lot of it had to do with the Rockets' defense. They kept them on the perimeter. They didn't allow a lot of penetration to the basket. And when they did penetrate to the basket, there was a lot of defenders that came from the weak side, and whoever man was on the same side of the guy penetrating, he slid over. So they cut off all those seams.
Yeah, then they hold Washington to 39% shooting tonight, and a sub-90-point game as well, 88 points for the Washington Wizards. Let's hear from what should be a happy head coach and Stephen Silas.
Hey, Coach, this was obviously the first game of the, I guess you want to call it, John Wall and Victor Oladipo era. Early on, it was kind of some awkward moments, but in the fourth quarter, there was some big-time plays on offense and defense. How was that from your vantage point, just the last 6 or 7 minutes of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, Kelly, you're totally right about how disjointed it was in the first half. And it takes guys a minute to learn how to play together. And this was just game one. So it took them 3 quarters to kind of figure it out a little bit. And the fourth quarter was good. You know, they were kind of figuring it out, how they can make each other better and how they can let each other play to their strengths. Getting the ball up the floor a little quicker, I think, helps both guys. If we have options ahead of the ball and aren't playing against a set defense, or if they can have some sort of action where they're playing together, that is good stuff for us. So it's a work in progress for sure. And as you saw in the first half, it was very much disjointed, but they came together in the second half and did a great job on both ends of the floor. The defense was really, really good in the second half.
Adam Spollen.
Stephen, on the defense, they went from 14 second chance points and 10 offensive rebounds in the first half to 2 offensive rebounds and no second chance points in the second half. Did you feel like your initial defense was pretty solid the entire game, and just the difference was in the second half you cleaned up the boards?
Yes and no. The first half, I was definitely disappointed in our ability to get loose balls, 50-50 balls, and the rebounding game. And we mentioned it at halftime because I believe at the time they had 10 offensive rebounds and we had 12 defensive rebounds. So that obviously is not a recipe for success, and we needed to change it. And, you know, Cuz was great as far as getting the rebounds and making sure that when they missed, we could secure it and go, because we still want to play with pace, but we got to get the rebound first, and it has to be a group effort. I mean, Dave Nwaba did a great job on the boards as well, and that's got to be a focus of ours because our defense is becoming pretty good, you know, on the ball and the pick and rolls. And obviously Beal is a hard guy to guard, and Westbrook is hard to guard. But if we do our job on those guys, we got to come up with the basketball. And that was definitely one of our main talking points at halftime.
Jonathan Fagan.
Another game, third in a row, where you got a big boost off the bench. How much of that is just these guys who've been playing basketball, or they've been playing it together, as opposed to just about everybody else who was on the court tonight?
Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way, but yeah, that's a good way to kind of say it. They've been here the whole time. They've been playing together for the most part for the whole time, whether they've been in the starting lineup together or coming off the bench together, and they do have a little bit of continuity. And that group really has a defensive mindset, and they get us going defensively. So as you see, what Nwaba was a plus 20, and Sterling was a plus 22 in his minutes. And it really is the defensive end, because then we can go and create some offensive opportunities just off our pace.
Do you like using them in the small ball lineup, or is that something that you have to now because you're down one center?
Both. I like it, and I have to right now. But, you know, we got to figure out a way to kind of do both, because the small ball is good. And but obviously Cuz is playing great, and Christian's playing well too. So got to figure it out.
Thank you.
Ali Kambajani.
Hey, Steven, with how much emphasis team defense is put on maintaining the shell, especially getting back quick in transition, how important is it for your offense to attack early? And were you happy with how John and Victor attacked in transition today?
Yeah, it's very important for us to attack early, and we're trying to get pass ahead so we can kick it ahead and attack early so we're not dribbling the ball up every possession. And we didn't really do that as much today. So it's going to be up to me to kind of watch the film tonight and get that figured out, because we do need to play with better pace while those guys are on the floor. And I got to give them a way to do it. I also have to watch film with them so they can see the opportunities where maybe we weren't running with vision, or running